welcome to another In Studio. I'm Tom Wright, and with me are a couple of special guests today talking about the Minnesota Reading and Math Corps program, a very popular program here in the state, and that's helping out many students, including students here in Hastings. But there is a need. They need your help. They're looking for more tutors. So here to talk all about it are Lizzie Morris, the pilot manager. Welcome, Lizzie.
Thank you so much.
And Rachel Niebuhr, a tutor at the middle school, correct?
Yes, absolutely. Thanks.
Yes, great. Thank you both for being here. Let's start with you, Lizzie, and talk about what is Minnesota Reading and Math Corps. What do you guys do?
Absolutely. So Minnesota Reading Corps and Minnesota Math Corps are two AmeriCorps programs. AmeriCorps is sometimes referred to as the domestic version of the Peace Corps. And we are statewide initiatives to help students succeed in school. So with Minnesota Reading Corps, we're working to ensure that all children are proficient in reading by the end of 3rd grade. And then with our sister program, Minnesota Math Corps, we are working to make sure that children are proficient in algebra by the end of 8th grade. We know that those two areas are huge indicators for student success. And so our tutors go into schools, work with children age 3 through the end of 8th grade to help them in those areas.
Oh, very cool. And so tell us about Hastings. How many tutors are working here in Hastings?
Yeah, we have several tutors in Hastings with both our reading program as well as our math program. So Rachel here is a Math Corps tutor here in Hastings. And currently, though, we have 4 of our tutoring positions not filled in Hastings. So still looking for more people to get involved in the Hastings area.
Cool. Well, yeah, we'll put some information on that. First, let's go to you, Rachel, and tell us about, first of all, how did you get involved in this?
I first got involved with Math Corps actually because I wanted to do something for my community. I actually grew up in Hastings, and it's been a great way to give back to so many of the people and the community that I really love. And it's actually grown into a new career path for me, which is really great. So, yeah.
Awesome. So tell us about the training that you go through to become a tutor.
So for Math Corps and Reading Corps, there's a week-long training that you do before you start tutoring, which really gives you the tools to tutor in either math or reading. So they take you through step by step what you do with students every day, what different things you do, activities you do on a daily basis, basically. And then throughout the year, there are also additional trainings that help supplement that service. So
do you have like an obstacle course where you guys run through and you have like fake kids like grabbing at your ankles and asking for candy and that kind of thing?
That is an amazing idea. I think that should be implemented. So
wouldn't be a bad idea. You can take it and run with it if you like there.
Yeah, those middle schoolers especially that you're working with, Rachel.
Yeah.
What is a typical day for you as a tutor? What kind of commitment are we talking about here?
For me, I work at my site full-time as a tutor, and what that means is that for each hour of the day I have 2 students that I tutor at a time. And so throughout the day I'll have maybe 6 pairings of students, and I'll work with them for an hour of the day. So it's a really, really great way to connect with students, to have just that small group setting. And so that's mostly what my days look like.
Cool, cool. Lizzie, let's go back to you. Tell us about the impact this program has had on students and their reading and math levels.
Absolutely. So like I mentioned, we are the largest state AmeriCorps program. We, every year, have about 1,300 tutors across the state. And so that ends up being working with 35,000 children across the state of Minnesota. And a couple years ago, the University of Chicago came in to do an impartial study on our Minnesota Reading Corps program to find, are we having an impact? We know that kids are working with us, we're impacting those 35,000 students. Are we making a difference? They looked at both our elementary program as well as our preschool program and unequivocally found that yes, children who are receiving Minnesota Reading Corps services with all factors equal are better prepared for kindergarten in the case of our preschool program, or in the case of elementary school, are more proficient in reading than their peers who did not receive Reading Corps services. One of the things we talk about with reading is that up until the end of grade 3, that's when children are learning how to read. After that, they're reading to learn. Reading is the building block of every other subject, math included. And so we know that by giving children a foundation in reading, we're helping them not just in that area, but other subjects as well. And then with Minnesota Math Corps, algebra is the foundation for all of those STEM fields, the science, the technology, the engineering, and the math that are crucial in high school success as well as beyond in the workforce.
How are you guys funded? I'm sorry if I missed this. How are you guys funded?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we are an AmeriCorps program, which means that we receive funding from the federal government through the AmeriCorps program.
Okay.
And then that is supplemented with state funding through the Department of Education, as well as community partnerships, investments, grants, different companies, family foundations. And so the largest chunk of funding is through federal grant money through the Corporation for National and Community Service. But because we're having such a big impact, people are seeing our results, they're contributing as well.
Great, great. And so tutors are paid, right?
Yes, so this is a service position. It includes a living stipend every 2 weeks, as well as an education award. So tutors like Rachel, who successfully complete their year-long commitment of service, receive an education award that they can use to either continue their schooling or to pay back any student loans, expenses that they've accrued prior to committing to service with the program.
Great. Now that we talked about getting paid, I'm sure we got some people's attention out there. Who qualifies? For those watching that are interested in becoming a tutor, who qualifies?
Yeah, so to serve as a tutor with our program, we're looking for folks 18 years of age or older with a high school diploma or a GED. That being said, our tutors come from a diverse background. We have kids taking a gap year right after high school, or folks right after college who aren't quite sure what the next step is. Stay-at-home parents who are looking to get back involved in the workforce or make a difference in their children's schools, veterans, retirees. Our tutors really do come from all those ranges. In my almost 3 years working with both Reading Corps and Math Corps, I've worked with tutors who are 18, I've worked with tutors who are 80. And everywhere in between.
Wow.
We don't require any formal background in education or working with kids. We do all the training, that institute training that Rachel mentioned, and really we're looking for folks who are passionate about making a difference in their community, who want to work with children, who want to see kids succeed, and then are also looking to have a positive impact on their own life.
And Rachel, back to you. For those watching, why should they do this? What do you get out of it?
I think it's an incredible experience for people that want to make a difference and really want to feel fulfilled. I would also encourage anyone who's thinking about going into education to take a year and serve, because for me it really served as a great entryway into being in education. But that being said, I will attest to the fact that at Institute you see so many different kinds of people, and it's amazing to be in that group and just feel the energy that everyone loves to make a difference. So I would say if you want to make a difference in your community, that's the first thing, for sure, if you'd like to do that.
Great, very good. And anything you'd like to add to that as for why someone watching should do this?
I think there are just so many reasons to serve. It's that impacting your community, it's giving back. But we hear time and time again from our tutors that sometimes the biggest impact that they see is on themselves. Whether that's solidifying a career in education, whether that's a retiree who said, who's been in the business world for 40 years and finally is able to use their skill set for something else. And so it is about the kids. At the end of the day, we're making sure that they have the foundation that they need to be successful in school and beyond. But there's also this tremendous period of growth that happens and reflection that happens in our tutors.
Great. Well, many great reasons right there for you, yes, you watching there at home to sign up. Where can they get more information about this?
Yeah, so our websites are minnesotareadingcorps.org and minnesotamathcorps.org. And just like the Peace Corps, the Marine Corps, Corps is spelt with a silent P for those websites. You can find more information about the program, see videos of the day in the life of the tutor, testimonials from folks like Rachel who have committed to service with our program, as well as the application. So right now we are looking for people to serve beginning in November. That's when our next training is, and we make sure that everyone has that training before they begin working with students or in the classroom. And then looking for folks who are able to commit to service either 40 hours a week or 20 hours a week for the remainder of the school year.
Great. And again, it's 4 openings you're looking for here in Hastings?
Yep, 4 openings here in Hastings, specifically with our elementary school program with Minnesota Reading Corps. So working with children in kindergarten through grade 3, typically in one-on-one settings with our K through 3 program to get them just the boost that they need to be successful in reading.
Great, great. Well, is there anything else you guys would like to add that we perhaps missed before we wrap it up?
I don't think so. No,
Good,
we've
great.
covered it. Great
Well, thank you
stuff.
both again for coming in and sharing all this about Minnesota Reading and Math Corps. And so there you go. We'll put up that website right here for those interested to go get more information and get that application for those 4 openings that are going on. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.